Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to present to you and formally introduce Bob, Cos, and Arthur, the Play No Games podcast.
It's your favorite podcast where we talk about real life and exchange a few laughs. We sticking to our path. When you find understanding, just know that will never last. We ain't here to play no games. The world is getting crazy, and now we know we gotta be the change.
Another installment and a treat for all you guests. But before we get to all that, if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe right here. $ Hero Bob.
Hero Bob.
There we go.
Yep.
To help me pay my friends. I've already done one half. The people behind the camera are being paid. Now help me pay the people in front of the camera, because we are trying to bring you the best form of entertainment in the coming.
And because I need my check, so I'm not going to be here otherwise. no, I'm playing.
We don't want to work 9 to 5s. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? How you doing, Cos?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, it's Tay Ford here once again, and we have, so much to say about this guy. He's a former NFL player, motivational speaker, author, and a personal friend of mine, Alex Green. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah,
Welcome.
I appreciate the flowers. I was waiting for. I wanted to keep going.
Yeah, keep it going. We don't get more. We don't get some more of that. No.
Nah, I'm happy to be here though, man. Love what y'all doing. I'm excited to be on. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Awesome.
And, me knowing you all my life, because me and your bro, we was tied at the hip when we was younger.
Absolutely.
I've always been, kind of hip to your story and seeing you make your journey from an athlete to now what you're doing post-career.
Yep.
But getting prepared for this interview, I had to talk to some people, and I learned a little bit about you. So, first off, when you first started playing football?
I first started playing football, organized football. Besides, like in the streets with the brothers, right?
Yeah.
Organized football. Started playing 7 years old.
7 years old?
Yep. Started playing flag football. Around 7, 8 years old. Organized flag football for, do you want me to say it or do you know?
Go ahead, say it.
Okay, for Columbia in the north.
Yeah.
Right.
And where you from again?
From Portland, from Northeast Portland.
Northeast Portland.
The real
okay.
Northeast Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all peak 'em.
Which is kind of crazy. I know. Did you play popcorn in football when you was there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this. And obviously, because I know you're not from Northeast. So his family and his dad, Tim, they are almost like synonymous in my head with APP, the Alberta Park Panthers. His brother brother PJ played for them when I was younger. So when we were younger, rather. So I just assumed growing up, Alex, Willie D, Aaron must have all played for them when they were younger.
Yeah.
So my little birdie, I was talking to him earlier this week. I guess his mom actually took him and his brother to Alberta Park. He tried to get on the team. They said they ain't had no more roles. So where'd you end up playing for?
So let me go back to that story. So we was playing football on the street.
Yep.
A guy pulled up, which I guess to be a coach.
Yep.
He was like, "What are you guys doing?" We was playing like soccer / baseball / football, anything in the street, right?
Yeah,
Just having fun, right? And he's like, "Oh, we got tryouts at Alberta Park. Come out here and come play." So okay, cool. We played tackle football. That's the first organized tackle football.
Yep.
Right. And so we went there. And sure enough, they was like, nah, like we don't have enough spots. Like we didn't make it. We got cut from that. And so then we went to Whitaker 2, which is on 42nd and Killingsworth. Mm-hmm. The old Whitaker, right? When it got tore down, we went there to go play. And that's where that journey started. So it was first at APP, which was back then Alberta 1. That was where the top dogs went, and like the Seth Tarvers and all those guys went to go play. The ones who didn't make it or just didn't come in at a good enough time, because they already had their guys set,
Yeah.
went to Whitaker 2. And that's where I went, to Whitaker 2.
Which is kind of crazy, because it'd be like the equivalent of LeBron going to, let's just say, Akron Community Center.
Yep.
I'm saying, I'm trying to play some basketball. And he the one person like, yeah, man, we ain't got enough jerseys for you.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
Okay.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, so what was that like? I mean, of course, like, you've been an athlete, you play different sports. Like, I heard,
sure.
Who's Alex Green 5000?
Yeah, my mom, funny for that one. Shout out to moms. So, like I said, growing up, right, we just played everything we could, and we put a basketball hoop in the back, and we had this little video recorder, right? And so we'd get on there and do like fake interviews, and so how do you feel about this, and this? Oh yeah, I feel good, like fake real interview,
Yeah.
And not knowing was manifesting something bigger, right? Not even knowing, just having fun as kids. But I used to hoop. I really hoop. That's like my first love for real is basketball.
Yeah.
So we've been in the back and shooting. Every time I make the ball, Alice Green 5,000. When I make it, she's like, "What is that?" That's my name, Alice Green. 5,000. Why I don't know. It was just my name. You know what I'm saying? I just made it up. Right?
That's fire. All right.
Mom, shout out to moms for that story, man.
Shout out moms.
Yeah. Spilling the beans.
No, she a gem. No, it's right. Two people told me it wasn't just her.
Oh man,
Yeah.
who the other one? Let's call them out.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
Nah, but so you're starting to play organized football. Obviously, you have just natural talent along with a driver's determination to get better. So what was that process like in terms of you transitioning into middle school, and then I know you eventually went to Benson, and I actually heard you didn't get in originally.
Yep.
All right. So if you hadn't gone there, was any other school on your radar?
Yeah, it would have been a neighborhood school, Jeff.
Let's go.
It would have been Jeff. That's where all my brothers went. They went to Jeff, and so moms went there. That's where they met. Moms and pop met there. And so Jeff would have been right up the street from where I live. But I just didn't want to go to Jeff.
Yep.
All the homies, from middle school was going to Benson. All my day ones was going to Benson. And so I wanted to go to Benson. And growing up, we ran track, and Coach McKenzie was the head coach at Benson, and he coached me as a young pup coming up for a track club called PMTC. And so I went to go play with him, But yeah, I couldn't get in, man. It's funny. I remember being in 8th grade, and I had to apply like 6 different times to get into the school. Woo! I remember sitting in the car crying because I got a letter saying that you didn't get in, but try a different way to apply. And I was so excited just to get a different opportunity and a different answer other than no, that I actually took that as like I got accepted and started crying with my moms in the car, and we we literally she always playing gospel music, and we prayed about it. We prayed so that I can get into that school, because all the homies already got accepted, and so I had to talk to Kenzie and pull some strings to get me in, but it was a struggle, bro. Yeah.
Now I know you dominated while you were there. Your junior and senior year, made all PIL first team. Now let me ask you this though. So back in the 80s, 90s, hell, even early 2000s, right before you got there, Benson used to be a powerhouse in football.
No question.
Obviously, the talent unfortunately started dwindle down a little bit. So was it hard staying there all 4 years? I know right now we're in the era of player movement in sports. So did you ever consider man, I gotta go somewhere else if I'm trying to make it to Oregon, SC, Michigan, wherever?
Absolutely. I love these questions because I'm talking about things that I never talked about before that people don't know, right? So I remember they won in 88 because that's the year I was born. So Benson won the state championship in 88. There was nothing else close to that, let alone playoffs after that. So going there was guys like the Drews and stuff, and the Jonathan Stevens, a.k.a. Speedy. There was some top dogs, Omar Moore, Deshaun McKenzie. There were some dudes that could play. They just never got over that hump of winning games beyond playoffs. It was always first round and done, right? So when I got there, we had some dudes, obviously the homies from 8th grade and Whitaker. We had some guys coming in. We had a lot of talent my freshman year, but my sophomore year, I actually wanted to transfer back to Jeff. So my sophomore season, I didn't even play really. I didn't play until the middle of the season because I decided that I wasn't going to go to Jeff and I was going to stay at Benson. People don't know that. I actually played ineligible for Benson as a sophomore. I remember having 5 touchdowns in a game and I was ineligible at Benson.
What the hell?
I can say that now because the AD ain't there no more. Right, I ain't gonna throw everybody in the bus. But yeah, I played ineligible because I wasn't gonna play, so I never got a chance to do the training camp in the summer. I didn't do the orientations and all that stuff and all the break-ins and being eligible. I had bad grades my freshman year. I wasn't even eligible, and so I just started going to practice randomly, and it was like, look, we got a game on this day, and I was on JV. So it wasn't like documented stats online and all that stuff, so it wasn't really, it was like, okay, here go jersey. You play receiver, and here's the plays.
And see, that's what another one of my brothers, they told me it was so crazy over there one time. You played wide receiver, corner, QB, running back, and DN all in the same game.
All in the same game. I was a utility player. I played everything. I didn't start at nothing, right? But I was a backup to everybody. At every position, right? I played everything, and ironically enough, at Whitaker, I played quarterback. I was a quarterback at Whitaker. I took us to the championship playing quarterback.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, I was like a Donovan McNabb because I was chubby, had the afro.
Yeah.
But I could swing it.
So who's some other elite players? I know what you 2 years older than Sue.
I'm 1 year younger than Sue.
Oh, you 1 year younger?
Yeah. Yep,
years off.
7. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
My years off. My bad.
Yeah, you good.
Part yourself was a long day.
That birdie ain't tweeting as it should be.
Yeah. But who's some other like more prominent players like that was around your era?
Oh yeah, man. We had like Terrence Hill was tearing it up at Grant. You know, T.R. Smith, Tracy Harrell at Jeff, Taki Beverly, Donald Dixon. You know, you had Isaiah Johnson at Roosevelt. You know, you had Patrick Lex over there at safety for Franklin. I mean, there was some dudes, bro. You had Olaney Sobomahim was in Cleveland. You know, he's at Cleveland balling. Like, there was some dudes, bro, that could win. And then on my team alone, you know, we had Terrence Lambert, who, in my opinion, was a better running back than me. You know, Jared Williams, who played with me, DeAndre Randall. I mean, we had some dudes, bro, that can play. We had a tight end, Isaiah Holt, bro, who, if he didn't have his issues going on, bro, he would have been a superstar. No, we had some dudes, bro. But, like, yeah, the Dominican Sue's over there. You know, a lot of basketball guys. You know, you got Russell Millich. You know, those guys that hoop, but they're also just natural athletes. You know, Ime Natepri, who I went to elementary school with at Fabian. Like, there's some dudes who just naturally gifted and talented in our era, yours too. Probably yours, like, kind of the last wave. But, like, we was outside playing sports.
Everything.
Like, you know how to fall down and play tag and get away from people. So you're actually building those muscle groups in your body to make people miss and be an athlete, not even knowing it. You know, and how to fall and how to make people miss and how to, like, manipulate them where make them think I'm going this way, but I go that way. You learn that outside playing just sports.
Like, I got Juke and avoid a car, so of course I can do
this.
Yeah,
no question. You got to avoid this pole. You know, this pole on the side of the street. I got to catch my tippy toes
and that pole undefeated.
Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. No
ain't never to no else.
You got to avoid it, bro. Yeah, so... But yeah, there was some dudes, man, that we played with, bro, who was just like some real life dogs. And for whatever reason, just the interest or school or just legal troubles, it just didn't pan out. Yeah.
Now, I got like 2 more questions on this high school portion of your life. So let me ask you this.
Like it.
All right. So at this point is like, you know, playing D1 football or even, you know, I don't know if you have aspirations of the NFL. Is it a reality in your head or is it still a dream?
It's still a dream. It's still a dream. I took it like literally one dream at a time, right? And so what I mean by that is like my freshman, sophomore year, I just wanted to, I remember being so excited just to play on Friday night under the lights in high school. Like that was enough for me. So my junior year, I'm just like, bro, I'm just on Friday night playing. Like this is me now. I used to watch the big dogs do this. Now I'm under these lights. And my senior year was the same way. Then after my senior year, it was like, bro, I just want to look online and see my name on any college, any level, and see a stat. I want to see 1 yard, 1 carry with my name on that online. Like just one at a time, right? And so I went to junior college. I was excited just to be on a college team getting stats. You know what I'm saying? Like to be legit having a jersey on a college team. I didn't care what level it was. Then once I got to the junior college, then it was like, okay, I want to go D1. I had a chance to go to a school called Liberty University in Virginia. They're a Christian school. They had Rashad Jennings, who was just leaving, a big running back like me, like 22 carries your average a game and blah, blah, blah. And they wanted me to cut my hair. And I was like,
you ain't doing it.
My only D1 offer, you want me to cut my hair? And I'm like, okay, let me think about it. I'll commit and give you a verbal commit just because I had nothing else. But I'm like, I ain't cutting my hair. I know that at the back of my mind. Hawaii came late and was like, well, if you stay in school for an extra summer, we'll give you a scholarship to come out here, but you'll get 3-4 carries a game. So it was that option, like, okay, go to this big D1 school and get like barely any playing time. And if I do get in, I might not even get the ball. Or go to the smaller D1 school and you're going to get the ball all the time and you're going to be the guy, but you got to cut your hair. Bro, I stood on business. I ain't cut my hair and I went out to Hawaii.
That's far.
Yeah,
that's far.
you know. And then when I got there, it was like, okay, now I'm at this spot. I just want to get some stats on University. I want to see my name on NCAA. You know what I'm saying?
The video game?
Yeah, the video game.
Yeah.
The video game. You know what I'm saying? Without having to create my player, I want to see my name on that without having to create it. You know what I'm saying? And so once I did, it was like, bro, I made it. Like, I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I had one more question, but that actually...
Yeah, I was actually going to... one of the questions I had was, you know, as a running back, were there any running back role models you liked or you styled your style of running after?
So, I grew up, quick story, when we first moved into that house over there on off Deacon, we moved in, this family had moved out abruptly, so they left some stuff behind. Well, they left behind this big green notebook that had Barry Sanders rookie cards in them.
Okay.
Probably
all right.
10, 15 pages of Barry Sanders rookie cards.
Got it.
Oh,
I
There
fell
was
in
some
love
on
with
gold.
Barry Sanders.
Hopefully y'all
Damn.
sold those.
Right? And so that's who I watched
Okay. Yeah.
growing up was Barry Sanders. Now, as I got older, I started looking at guys that was kind of mimicking my style of play. Steven Jackson's, right? Yemisi Bernard. I was a big Oregon State guy. I wanted to go to Oregon State so bad. Still do. If I could, right? I'm still going to go to Oregon State and play, right? But Steven Jackson, you know, the
Jackson,
big
yep,
backs,
yep.
right? Stuff like that. So I started watching those guys. And as I got even more like playing, I started watching like Chris Johnson because I wasn't a fast running back. But I knew if I could mimic how he moved and apply that to my game, then I'll be special. I'll be different, right? So I started looking at other players and seeing, okay, well, if I'm not a speed back, but like, what do speed backs do?
Yeah.
How do they make guys miss? And so now I was a big back that had wiggle.
Yeah.
That can make guys miss. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I started thinking outside the box and seeing what the guys do that don't have my body type. And how can I implement that into my game with my body type?
I like
So
that.
could be
Okay.
different, yes. But yeah, I watch a lot of play. I'm a big fan of running backs. Derrick Henry's today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
Like I'm big on Saquon Barkley. Aaron Jones is my good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
I like a true running back.
Absolutely.
You know, the Adrian Petersons back then and Marshawn Lynch's who
Yeah.
just I'm running right at your face.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I like them type of running backs, bro.
Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. And then to actually follow up on that other question or that comment you made about NCAA, the video game.
Yeah.
So when you're playing that or you played Madden back in the day, you didn't have to create a player, right?
Nah.
You just use yourself,
Play
right?
yourself.
Bro, I was like rated like 67. I don't care, bro. I was
There you go.
starting myself.
There you go.
I'm starting myself,
There you
bro. I
go.
was
Yeah.
getting smacked and fumbling. I don't care, bro.
There you
I'm
go.
playing with me on the Packers, 100%.
I
Bro,
love
I would go
that.
to practice and go home and play Madden with myself.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely, bro. Every day.
I think everyone that doesn't play professional sports wonders that. Like, do the
Yes.
athletes actually use
Oh,
themselves in the game and all?
100%. Then I hop on the headset and talk mess. You know who Alex Green is? He about to dog you, you know? Like, yeah, absolutely, bro. I love that whole, like, being, like, having, like, that A-list and me playing with myself and nobody else know it. Yeah, bro. Like, why you putting him in? Because he a beast, bro. Watch. I'm like, rated 67 overall.
There you
know?
go.
Yeah.
That's sick.
100%. Yeah, we do.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Just to scale back some though, your senior year, I know you got invited to the Les Schwab Invitational. I know you were an alternate. I didn't. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I didn't know you were alternate. I just knew you played in the game. I heard though that there was some dude, I can't remember who was on the roster, had an injury the night before. You get called up. You weren't. Now check this. He wasn't part of any of the media for the game.
Yep.
Last minute call up. Guess what he does that day? Wins MVP of the game.
Yep.
And guess what day that also just happened to be in his life? His birthday.
Yep.
Oh.
I love your birds, bro.
Man,
I
man,
love
they be
them.
talking. They talk to me a lot.
I love them. I love them. So, So true story. I didn't get invited to the Les Schwab Invitational, but I knew I was an alternate. And day before the game, I remember driving to go get some ice cream, and I get a phone call. I had the number saved in my phone, and they said, "Oh, hey, it was Gabe Miller from Lake Oswego. Was a beast. He tore his Achilles during the hurdles that spring, and so he couldn't play in the game. And so they called. I was the next guy up, so they called me up, and it was like, bro, I'm going. Like, absolutely. Like, why you ask me, do I want to go? Absolutely, I'm going. And I go out there for the week of practice, and I'm just enjoying that. Again, my dream was a step-by-step dream. So I'm just loving this being in Les Schwab practicing with these big dogs around the state, right? And so I get into the game. Yep, it was June 23rd, which was my birthday, was the game. And I wore number 23. And not only did I get MVP, but I also broke a record in that game, the rushing record in the All-Star game. And it was like a dream come true. And after that, I ended up getting a scholarship to a Juco in Arizona, where I went first. Did Buddy tell you that too?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Buddy on point. Okay.
Birdie told me you got down there and it just like wasn't the right situation at first. You know,
I hated it.
yeah, your coach, she was like, you a scholarship player, but really wasn't engaging with you much. So then that's when you transferred to Butte College.
Yep.
Now, for our viewers that don't know, no disrespect to them, but California JUCOs are terrible in terms of like housing and support to students in general, but especially athletes. So like, what was that like for you in terms of like dealing with like another form of adversity? Because when people think about being a scholarship athlete, it's all the glitz and glamour of like on a man on campus, but like you really had to like grind in your situation at that time.
Yeah, no, I tell people all the time. You know, I mentor the youth now, right? I'm in high schools, and a lot of guys want to, you know, they got the big dreams like I had, but they might got to go to Juco route, and they get excited about it. I'm like, yeah, be excited, but understand you're not gonna be that big guy on campus. Like, it's a real dogfight. You got guys coming from Florida, Texas, New York, Nebraska, and they all got the same dream as you, and probably a worse circumstance than you came from, and this is all they got, right? And that's what I experienced when I got there. So I went to that school in Arizona first because it was a scholarship. So mom's was like, yeah, you going there. It's free. You know, why not? And so I went there, bro, and they were running a wing T offense, and it just didn't fit. You know, it was a small city. Like, I'm really, like, from Northeast Portland. I'm a city dude, you know. And I just didn't like being out in the desert. I just didn't like it. It wasn't a good fit. And so I went back to Butte. I was supposed to go to Butte originally anyway until that game when that happened. And so I went back to Butte that next semester, and, bro, it was, I mean, I got exposed. I tell them all the time, like, I got exposed to, like, real life. And it's funny when you get around people, places, and things that change your perspective on life. And it's amazing how well we adapt to our circumstances and situations. And that's what happened, you know. And, I mean, Friday nights, there was dudes, bro, who was going to the field to go work out. We wasn't going to go party. We was going to go work out. And then we would come back and we would do whatever we can for food. Some things wasn't, like, aligned with who we wanted to be, but we just in that survival mode, right? Like, it's all we had, you know, and the resources was very limited, but the drive and the dream was so big that it didn't matter what resources that we had, we was gonna make it happen. And so there'd be 6 guys sleeping in a 2-bedroom. You know, some guys on the floor. I was on the floor a couple of times. My suitcase was my backpack, or was my pillow. You know, my backpack was my covers. You know, and then I had my 1998 Chevy Lumina. You know, it was tan with black tints. That was my baby, and that was like the crib for like some nights. That was like the back seat was the house. You know, and but again, the dream was so big that it didn't matter. And you're around guys who in that same position. Now, I was just 8 hours south from Portland. They came from an 8-hour flight. You know, and so it was like I can't go back home for holidays and summers. I got to stay out here and figure it out. And so we worked, you know, we grind, but the vision was like, bro, I'm trying to get to something bigger, and this is the process I got to go through. And it was eye-opening, bro. It really changed my life. It gave me that dog that I wanted and needed in me to be able to withstand the circumstances and adversity that I would face later on in life. It was that moment in Juco that was like, bro, this is, if you really want this is what you got to go through. And this is not only what you got to go through, but this is how you get through it. You know, because life still happened to it, but we were so young. It was like, bro, look, instead of going out, we're going to go work out. You know, every single day. You know, we got practice, bro. Okay, like some days, some dudes didn't even eat. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, we here for something like a bigger purpose. So let's take this hit now, so that later we can reap the benefits of it. Yeah. You know, so yeah, it was a struggle, bro. But one of the best times of my life too. Met some of the best friends of my life. Obviously, you in college, you know, with that experience, bro. And there's some guys who I was roommates with that even today we still talk. You know, that was how many years ago? You know, we like best friends today. And guys that I never would have met or came in contact with who from Florida and Texas and all these places that, bro, we lifetime friends and brothers now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
So you go from there, you know, and describing your grind at Butte College to then transferring to Hawaii, you know, starting to build your profile there. And then your senior year, I remember it like it was yesterday because, you know, a town small, so everybody knows everybody. We keep up with people who are doing big things. For sure. I'm playing, I went on Sports Center, and under the ticker, I see A Green, 300 yards. I'm like, hold up. Yeah. And then he gets on the early Heisman watch list for that season. Yeah. So at that moment, was anything going on in your head like, man, I could do this?
Let me go back first before I get into Hawaii and say, shout out my guy, Demetrius Davis. Me and Demetrius is from Portland. He's from the North. You know, I'm from Northeast, but we went to Whitaker together. And we both went to Butte together. And we got a national championship out there together. I'm the one that got him to go to Butte originally out of high school. He also played in the All-Star game, the Les Schwab. He's the one that pulled the plug and made the connection to get me to Hawaii. So it came back full circle, right? But during that season, I was so locked in because my best friend had just passed away right before my senior season. So February 28th, I get a phone call that my best friend had passed away going into my senior season, right? And so I was like, bro, I got to lock in because he was the only one that really, like, he believed in me more than I believed in me. You know, like, he really was like, bro, you going to go to the league? And I'm like, nah, them dudes is big and, you know, like, nah, they fast, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm just at Hawaii. I'm cool with that. And I legit was. But once he passed, bro, I turned it up. And so during that season, it was like all in, you know. And so I knew I was going to have success. I didn't know I was going to break a record, you know. But I remember, true story, you can ask my coach, Coach Smith, right now. He's at OU right now. I told him, it wasn't that game, but the day before, or the game before that one, I asked him, I said, what's the record? And he was like, what? I said, what's the rushing record? What's the single game rushing record? And he said, it's 271 yards. And I was like, damn, I thought it was going to be like one something, like, you know, 202, right? It was like up there. I'm like, okay, right? He was like, okay. I didn't get it that game. I had like 100 and something. That next game, I broke out with 327. And I was so in the process, so in the game, that I didn't even know I broke it until after the game. I was just so in the game, you know. And shout out to Moms, because she would come to every away game. Every away game, I would go off. 100 here, 150, 180, 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. They would say my mom was a good luck charm. Come to every game. We're going to fly you to every away game. Mom's is good luck, right? But that game, bro, I was so in it. And I looked up and was like, hey, man, you just broke the record. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you got 300-something yards. I didn't play the whole fourth quarter. That game, we blew them out, you know, in Mexico State. But, yeah, that game, bro, it was so real. But I was so in the moment that I didn't even realize it, because I'm just, you know how like playing basketball or something, you just hot. You're not even thinking about the stats or scoreboard. You're just enjoying playing the game. And I finally felt that passion again. I'm just enjoying playing the game. And when I look up, bro, and 327 yards, you know, and it's like, and the next day was like, oh, you on ESPN, and you out there with Mark Ingram's and Cam Newton's. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. You know, it's crazy, right? Yeah. I remember Melvin Ingram had also ran for 300 that same week. You know, and it was like, okay, like I'm up there with these dudes, you know. And then that's when it started getting real, like, oh, okay, like I'm actually kind of good at this sport. Yeah, you know?
Now you're talking about Mark Ingram and Cam. You know, you guys had a phenomenal. Like, I honestly think in my lifetime, when I actually started to understand football records, like 8-9, it's probably the best draft class I've seen.
Bro, I tell people all the time, bro.
Yeah, that 2011 class was different.
It was different, bro. Yeah, it was different. It was different.
Yeah, now, you know, for a lot of people, that's the biggest moment of their life. You know, they want to be around their loved ones the night of draft night. And I know you were a third round draft pick, but my other birdie, not your mom, but my other birdie, they told me you wasn't even around your family that day.
Yep.
Where were you?
I mean, this is loud. Nah. Nah, I was at a friend's house that day. I was at my good friend's house, and I was with my homeboy Deshaun, who was the brother of my best friend that passed away. Right? Like, it's funny how that kind of came into, because the first day, I think it's a Thursday, is the first round.
Yep.
Friday is second and third rounds. The third day, the last day, is 4 through 7, right? And so I was projected originally, before the combines, before going to the East-West Shrine game, to just be an undrafted free agent. And again, I was cool with that. I want the opportunity, right? After the East-West Shrine game, it was like, oh, okay, 6th, 7th round, projected, right? After the combine, it was like, oh, 4th, 5th, you know, he might go third at the highest. That's like, if something happens,
stars all align.
Yeah, stars all align, he can go third, right? And so I'm not expecting to go third. You know, I'm expecting to go 4 through 7, right? And so on that Friday, on day 2, I'm at the homie's house and we just chilling. You know, in my good guy Deshaun Taylor, he's there, right? And it's me, Alex, my friend Alex, and then Deshaun. We just like literally watching the draft, sitting like this on the couch, just watching the draft. But I'm seeing guys I played in the combine with, the East-West Shrine game with, see them go, and I'm calling, hey, bro, good stuff. No, congrats. Like, that's dope. You know, and I'm second to the last pick because Green Bay had just won a Super Bowl in 2010, so at the last picks. Second to the last pick, my phone is sitting on the table, and it started ringing. Now, that whole week, your phone ringing because teams are checking up to see, like, make sure your phone work, you know, in case we call you, just checking in with you. So your phone always ringing anyway. And my phone started ringing. Look at my homeboy, like, bro, ain't no way. So I'm looking at the 920. Where the code is that? No, because they never called me yet. And I answered it, bro, and it was Ted Thompson. And he's like, hey, Alex, how you doing? This is Ted Thompson, Green Bay Packers. I'm like, I'm doing very well. How are you? That's what's important. How are you doing? You calling me.
About to change my life right
now. Yeah. Hopefully you're in a good mood, bro, if you calling me.
Tell me something good.
You feel me? Yeah. So, and he's like, oh, I'm doing well. Look, we're going to draft you this next pick. We're going to take you third round, 96 overall to the Green Bay Packers. How you feel about that? And I'm like, bro, we off. Like, you feel me? Like, hey, we finna get drafted. right? So I'm tripping, right? So I'm like, oh, this talking to all the coaches and all this, bro. And sure enough, while I'm on the phone, it comes on TV. And so I'm seeing it, and they still talking to me though, like, oh yeah, your coach is gonna be this guy, and we're gonna get you out here. And I'm like, you know, yeah. I'm trying to watch it on TV, you know, tell my boy to record it, you know, and by the time we got off the phone, they just called my name, bro, and it was like, you know, I just held my boy and we just started crying, bro. And it was like, bro, it's crazy, you know, it's crazy how, you know, you think just 3-4 years ago prior to that.
Yeah.
You're in situations where you're being exposed to like a new life, you know, and sleeping with 6 guys in an apartment to getting a phone call that you're being drafted to live your childhood dream. Overnight, bro. Social media blowing up, your phone is blowing up. Like, it's literally life changing, you know. And at that time, it's funny because that was the lockout year too. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't even go up there like most draftees. They usually go up there and then they see this place and see their lockers, get their jerseys and all their memorabilia, all this stuff. Bro, I had to stay at home until the lockout ended. You know, like all of us did in that 2011 draft class. So it was a different experience, bro. But I mean, it was surreal, bro. So then, like, you know, the next day I went home and we did the whole family thing and all that, you know. So yeah, bro, surreal experience, bro. Like, it gave me goosebumps now, bro. I'm thinking about, like, just that quick, bro. You get that phone call and it's like, you finally get that moment to be seen and heard. Like, bro, all that hard work, it do pay off. You know, yeah, it was dope, bro. And then you go into Green Bay. Yeah. You know, the Super Bowl champions, bro. With Aaron Rodgers and Clay Matthews and Donald Driver and Greg Jennings and James Jones and Jordy Nelson, bro. And you got Morgan Burnett back there and Sam Shields and B.J. Rodgers, bro. We had dogs, bro. A.J. Hawk. Come on, man. Jermichael Finley at tight end, bro. We had some dudes. Josh Sitton at the tackle. You know, John Kuhn at fullback, bro. Like, we had some dudes, bro. And then when we came in, Randall Cobb, Devon House, you know, we had DJ from Arkansas, tight end from Arkansas, I'm forgetting his last name. But we had some dudes, bro. You know, then it was just a perfect opportunity, bro, to be around some legends off the gate. And not let me forget, we had Charles Woodson too. To go. Don't get it twisted, bro. We had Charles Woodson. A yellow jacket. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, it was like being around that, bro, was like, you get to see why they win. Yep. You're around winners. Not just on camera. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers go from lunch, from meetings to lunch with his iPad watching film. They say he's standoffish, bro, but A-Rod is like, he protects his craft, bro. He loves what he does. Mm-hmm. So he's not standoffish. He's just trying to watch film because that's what he loves to do. He loves the game, so he wants to be the best at it. Mm-hmm. So I still love you, and you still my dog, but I love this game too, and I want to win. Yeah. I'll be a dog after. I want to win, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I learned, how to be a pro, how to be a professional. Yeah, man. That's crazy. Unreal, bro.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Because I actually heard Cincinnati was looking at you through the draft process.
Yep.
Now, they had some talent for sure. And, you know, city-wise, I'd say it's about what and what. But that for sure could have been different.
Say Cincinnati's a little. It's a bigger city.
It's a bigger city.
I mean,
than Green Bay.
It's a bigger city.
Throw up to poop. Like,
I'm just saying. I mean,
it's going to be -30 every winter anyway. So, like,
no question.
It's frozen.
But, yeah, no, I mean, that would have been a different trajectory with your career for sure.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Yeah. I think that if Green Bay didn't take me, I would have went to Detroit. They took Michael LaShore. In the second round, they took him early.
That would have been.
But Detroit flew me out twice for a visit. If I didn't go there, I would have went to St. Louis. They took the Patriots came to Portland. I trained with the Patriots at Cleveland High School the day before the draft started. The day before the first one draft started, Patriots flew out and trained me at Cleveland High School.
Damn.
Cause am I tweaking? He would have played in the Super Bowl at that point, wouldn't he?
Probably, yeah.
I'm almost certain that year. I think they went that year.
2012?
Yep.
Yeah. I think so.
2012.
They played the Giants.
Yeah. Because the Giants went 2011.
Yeah.
Well, football would be weird because they be counting like the
following year.
The fall,
yeah. But that year,
yeah.
100%.
So what, like Josh McDaniels came out? I think because he was
yes.
Okay.
Yep. So, but they took Stephen Ridley in the 4th round. They would have came and grabbed me. They worked me out at Cleveland the day before the draft.
Yeah.
If Green Bay didn't get me, it was being either Detroit, Cincy, St. Louis, or the Patriots. And Patriots was hungry. They wanted me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, worst case scenario, you had Andy Dalton, so I mean, you had a pretty good.
mean,
you was gonna have a good
I ain't
situation.
trying to be.
Ocho Cinco.
I wouldn't stretch it.
I said worst case scenario.
Okay.
That was worst case. I mean, I ain't say he was good. But
Andy ain't no bust now.
No, you're not.
He
No,
can
no.
play.
The Red Rock.
But I'll take my A-Rod.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll take my A-Rod.
I mean, you got him. You got Stafford. You got
No question.
Brady.
No question. Yeah. I would have been.
So
straight
you had
either
some
way.
options.
Yeah, no
yeah.
question. I think the offense would have fit better in Cincy. A little more
I
downhill.
I can see that.
Gap scheme ish. But Green Bay was dope too. They run the screens and it's a little pass friendly. But I mean, teachers own too. It all depends. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
I got hurt my rookie year. I tore my ACL rookie year too.
Mm-hmm.
So had that happened, not happened, success would have been different. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Everything happened for a reason, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all was fun to play with, and I'm not just saying it's just because you my boy, but I used to always, cause I think you was second on depth chart. I used to always start you like,
no question. Yeah, you gotta move me up, bro. You gotta move me up. No question.
No, I just want to say this: phenomenal storyteller. Where how you're recounting everything is just like, all right. It's like I feel like I was just there.
Yeah.
And just like a life lived. Like there's so many things you said. Like one of the things you said to me that was like very interesting. I've heard like no one actually say this, and we've done so many interviews where you dreamed at levels and you were content. Like I'm just here doing this. When you have so many people, even myself, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you just kept it at that level. So I'm just curious because now we're in that arena where you're in the NFL and that lifestyle, and I'm leaving it open ended because one, this is your life, and there's so many things that people who've never crossed into that brotherhood and how they're like they speculate. So we have the shows of like the Shannon Sharps, and they kind of give us a Costco sample of what goes on. Yeah. So I'm curious with your contentness and like where you at and how you take in life, like how did that bond with the NFL lifestyle?
Because great question, by the way. But because once you get to that level, it's all about being in the process. Because everybody's great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can run, everybody can catch, everybody can hit, everybody's strong. Like there's very limited separation. What separates it is the ones who's going to go from the meeting rooms to the dining room, whether they watch film or not. Whether they coming in early or late. And so for me, it was easy to have that like contentness, but still being like, I still want more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you're process driven, like you want more, because the goal, the successes don't become like stopping points. It just becomes like milestones, And so once you attain a certain level of success, it's just like a milestone. Like I want the next one and the next one and the next one. And once you get to that level, bro, in the league, you have obtained a lot of success. And it's easy to get like, oh, okay, I'm cool here. I'm done now. But you got to keep also that vision of what's the next milestone that I can hit. Yeah. It's never a stopping point. You know what I'm saying? So once you're in that process driven, it's easy to be content and kind of like having that gratitude of like, I'm grateful to be here.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yes,
but I still want more for myself and the ones around me. So I'm going to set another milestone for myself. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a good question.
No.
It's a great question.
Okay. Well, I have a couple more. Other stuff. Do y'all have NFL stuff?
No.
I got one more NFL question actually.
Let's
go. I watch NFL films, and there was like, this was my welcome to the NFL moment. I'm curious, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Okay, I like that question. I like that question too. So, my welcome to the NFL moment, mind you, we didn't have OTAs and mini camps and stuff. So, my first time going to Green Bay, we had training camp. Playbook this thick. At that time, they didn't have iPads yet. Went to iPads that next year, so it was like paper.
Oof.
I don't like school. I didn't like the story I told you. I don't like school, right? So I wasn't reading much in school, right? So you got to read this playbook, a whole different language. In Hawaii, bro, we had probably 6, 7, 8 run plays with a pass-friendly offense, right? So I'm learning this whole new language in a week. Like somebody giving you French. I don't know if you know French or not. You know French?
No.
Okay.
He's pretty
I've
well.
tried.
He's
Are
pretty
you-
well
you
versed.
know
though.
French? Okay.
He knows shit about it.
So it's like somebody giving you a different language
Of
and
course,
say, learn
yeah.
this in a week.
Yeah.
And there's pressure on you because if you don't know it, you might not be here no more.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So there's
Absolutely.
pressure on you, right? So when I'm learning this stuff, man, it's like you got to pick it up. But my moment, not only that, but it was Clay Matthews because he was a bully.
Really?
Now I know they know like the whole singing thing as as a rookie, and I sung Usher 7 o'clock on the dot, on my drop top, cruising the shit. Like everybody know that song, right? Everybody know, right? But my welcome to the NFL moment, bro, was I was getting the ball, I was getting handoffs. And mind you, the plays was crazy, so I don't know all the plays. You know, and I'm going the wrong way and stuff, and I kept running into the linemen and stuff, and A-Rod was like, nah, go that way, go as hard as you can to the right. Well, Clay Matthews was to the right. So as I'm getting the ball, I'm going to the right, I'm running as hard as I can. I get the ball, boom, I run right into him in practice, and he got pissed. He's like, don't do that again, Rook. And I'm like, do what again? I'm running the ball, bro. I'm trying to earn a team like you is. You know, I'm trying to be hard because I'm a rookie. You know, I'm trying to earn my spot, right? I run over that way again, right? This time he kind of take it, but he pushed me off of him. That whole rest of that practice, every time I got the ball to the right or left, he's chasing me down full speed and like either pushing me, throwing me down, or taking the ball from me. So once I realized that, now I'm holding the ball all the way through my reps. Well, he'll follow me when the play is well done. He'll follow me to the huddle, and he's like picking at me, like pushing me and getting the ball out. So I get mad and I throw the ball at the back of his head when he turned around. Bro, that was a bad mistake, bro. Yeah, you don't throw the ball at Clay as a rookie. We get into it and it didn't end well for me. I'll just say that. Yeah. So we get into it, we wrestling, bro. I end up on the ground, and it's like, like you out here with us. You know, we ain't out here with you. You know, and so, but after that, he started respecting me because I stood up to him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that was my welcome to the film. I'm like, bro, this dude is really like strong as hell, bro. Like, I thought I was strong. This dude is legit. That's crazy. You know,
Clay Thompson, too.
Speaking of camp, though, I got one question that you just made me think of. Yeah. All right. So I've heard different dudes talk about this stuff. And, you know, I got friends that, you know, my school was relatively close to Tulane and LSU. So I have a few friends that made it to the league at varying levels.
For sure.
Did you ever run into an instance where, because you know the NFL and professional sports in general was really cutthroat, where you know you're trying to learn the playbook and it might be another running back in your running back group. You like, hey, Dante, what am I supposed to do in this play? Yeah, go left. Ain't trying to throw you off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. When shout out my good guy RG, man. You know he was a vet. He was a Pro Bowl, you know, but I was coming to take his spot. Just call it what it was, right? He was a starting running back, and I was a new kid on the block. And so I would ask him about certain plays, and he like, man, you got to figure it out. You know, he's like, there's 2 things in the league that's guaranteed, Rook. And I said, yeah, what's that? And he said, you're going to get cut and you're going to get injured. So I'm going to get cut and I'm going to get injured before I want to. So I'm not going to tell you what to do so you can come take my spot before my time is up. So you got to figure it out how I had to, and that's just the way it is. And so I took that information, like, okay, you know, like it's like a dog-eat-dog real. And we were still cool. We still would hang out outside of the football and, you know, all these things. But it was like, you know, we all cool, but we all in the same position. We can hang out and talk and chill and watch TV. But when it's time to, like, play, bro, like, you on your own. You got to, because you're going to take from my family's mouth. And I'm going to take from yours. And so, look, may the best man win. You know, so whoever going to study the hardest, work the hardest, they're going to be the ones up top. And I'm not going to help you get ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? So it like there is some tension. Like, you know, when I was going out, Eddie Lacy was coming in. Bro, I'm not telling Eddie nothing, bro. He coming to take my spot. You got to figure it out, bro. Yeah. You know, that's just the way it was. And like, but we were still cool. We still talk to this day, but I'm not finna help you take my spot and take food out my kid's mouth.
Yeah, in fact, and that's always a
you know what I'm saying? Just straight up.
That's always a common theme I heard from dudes I talk to. It's like, I still want you to eat, just not off my plate.
Just not off my plate.
It's always crazy because it seems as though, and you might correct me if I'm wrong, you know, you guys have a lot of maturity handling that, but sometimes you'll have like a wide receiver. I'm not trying to have this, you know, second, third dude down the depth chart come and taking my reps, so they end up being closer with like a cornerback or a linebacker because no conflict in terms of
100%
reps.
100%. It's usually running backs is kind of cool with DBs and receivers. The lineman is cool with linemen because they're all linemen, and so they're just linemen. You know, linebackers usually cool with like, you know, receivers or safeties and stuff like that. You know, it's never like running back and running back are just super duper tight because it's the conflict of interest. But we understand that it's like really business, bro. You know, but at the end of the day, I don't want to get close to you if you're gonna take from me. You know, and I don't have to go against you every day. Like, to this day, if you say, oh, yeah, I played linebacker in high school, I'll feel some type of way. I don't like linebackers. I just don't. I have to go against y'all every day, but I don't like y'all. Y'all don't like me. It is what it is. But if you're a DB or a safety, like, oh, okay, what's up? That's what's up. You know, like I run y'all over, so I ain't tripping. You know, receivers, y'all my people. Old linemen, I love them. You know, but like certain people is like, you know, I gotta go against you every day, and you're taking from me, and I'm taking from you, and so like just naturally as a human, I can't get down with that. No. You know, like I can't get down with somebody like taking from me, bro. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Even if it is business. Yep. You know, yeah.
And I just got one question, then we transition back to Rob. Okay. All right, so I know you playing with Green Bay for a few years, and then you end up playing.
Go Pack.
Yeah, I can't co-sign that. You know, Cowboys.
Cowboys,
yeah, bro. You already know.
I'm sorry for your loss,
Come on, man.
Sorry we did that.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Different conversation.
Yeah, you know. So then you end up playing for the Jets later on, and then also in the Canadian Football League. Yep. So like, what was that transition like for you in terms of like, you know, I know some people, of course, it's a business, especially in the NFL. You know, you could get cut any day, but you kind of at times I always be married to the idea that I'm gonna be able to lay roots here and this is gonna be my home. Right. So was it difficult at all saying like, damn, now I gotta like restart, go to a different market, learn the team, anything like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you going from like, bro, we like when I came to Green Bay and we would walk in, you whatever street clothes you got on, you take that off and you put on your Green Bay attire. You put your phones in your locker. You got your notepad out. You got your playbook. You got your pen, your pencil. Like, and you're in your meeting room 20 minutes before the meeting starts. Everybody. Mm-hmm. You ain't just the first one there. The first one there is probably like an hour ahead, you know. Like, everybody's there 20 minutes early, already taking notes before anybody even starts speaking. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, the structure was just, like, it's super disciplined. You don't be late. You know, when we say we leaving at this time, we're leaving, like, 20 minutes before that. Like, have that in your mind, you know. And everything was just structured, bro, and it showed on the field with discipline and integrity and hard work, right? All that stuff. When I got to the Jets, it was like you could be in street clothes in meetings, you know. You got your phone out. Dudes was texting in meetings, you know. So I'm like, bro, what? You know, I first get to the Jets. I'm like, where my Jet stuff fell? Oh, no, just go to meetings. Like, yeah, but I ain't got my stuff. Like, nah, just go like that. You good. Just change afterwards. I'm like, I can go to meetings like this? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm in meetings, dudes just texting and side chatting and stuff and feet up. Rex Ryan going off. You know, I came from Mike McCarthy, bro, where he's like, you got Mike at Cowboys. Yeah. Mike is like, you know, he's got Army background, right, military background, and so he's super disciplined, right? He's real, like, sensitive to the fact of discipline is key with anything you do, right? How you sleep, how we eat, everything you do starts here. Then it goes to the field. Man, Rex Ryan was cussing us out, bro. Man, F the media, I don't care. Say what you want. Man, this dude is this and that. I was like, okay, like, this is my coach.
Toes.
Talking about toes, you feel me? He got Mark Sanchez tech too, like, you know, it's like, bro, like,
so all the people for real.
Yeah,
he does, yeah.
He's a character. Yeah, he a character, bro.
He's a character.
No, Rex is different.
That's why he's good for me.
Rex is different, bro. Rex is different, and so going from like all that structure and discipline, and then going to the lackadaisical, you know, free fall was a whole different experience, bro. And then, you know, in Green Bay, the offense leads the team. It leads the charge. You got A-Rod. Mm-hmm. Well, the Jets is your defense. They got all first rounders. So the defense is in charge. I go from Aaron Rodgers to a Ricky and Geno Smith. And my locker was next to Geno. So I'm watching the media eat him up, bro. You got a black quarterback, bro, and you're not performing. Bro, he couldn't handle it. You know, and shout out to Geno now because he grew and matured and got better.
Absolutely.
But, bro, he struggled. You know, even off the field, he struggled just to adapt to being a black quarterback in that media world. In Green Bay, we didn't have that. So it was a whole different ball game, bro. You know, and, like, practice was like, you know, I could fumble 3 times in practice and it's all good. Bro, you can't fumble in Green Bay. You can't throw interceptions in Green Bay. Bro, you know, throw 6 picks in practice in the Jets. And it's all good. It's like, bro, we're winning 2 games a season. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all different, and you see it in the structure and the discipline what the coaches lead as. You know, and that's where the players kind of feed off from, bro. You see it in the teams that's good and the teams that's not.
Makes
sense.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I kind of come in with the part of the interview where I'm actually more like lifestyle stuff or where
let's talk about it.
When it comes to that lifestyle, right?
No question.
We kind of talked about on the field. Now I want to talk about off the field.
Yep.
How was it seeing those transition? Because we got young men and they're introduced to levels of fame. Oh. And I'm just curious because I want to leave it open-ended and I want you to, you know, pick on anyone. I'm just curious.
No, for sure.
how was it adjusting for yourself and watching others adjust to like that fame and like everyone wanting something from you, but you still trying to figure that out for yourself, like what you wanted to do and everything in between?
It was a struggle. It was a struggle, you know, because you don't come from that, and your environment don't come from that. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no blueprint on how to navigate once you get in that space. You just got to figure it out. Yeah, you have like meetings, and you have, you know, rookie success programs, you know, to kind of help you through it and to navigate this new form of lifestyle. But bro, once they put somebody who's been broke and not really knowing how to manage money or fame, and you put them with money and fame as a 22, 21-year-old, bro, like, there's going to be a lot of trial and error. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of trial and error, you know, and mind you, I lived the life that I wanted to. Maybe not what was best for me, right? I had some fun now, don't get it twisted. But it probably wasn't the best, just not knowing about like longevity. You know what I'm saying? And about having like investments and letting things grow for you. And because it's like you get it fast and it's okay, I can spend it right now because I'm going to get it back because I'm already here. Nah, bro, you don't know when this is going to end. And so, yeah, we have fun, bro. I would call the homies and be like, hey, you know, like on a Thursday, hey, what y'all doing Friday? I ain't nothing playing. Hey, we going to Miami. And we go to Miami for a weekend. You know, there'll be times where, you know, I come back home and I got my daughter Louis Vuitton shoes. You know, there'll be times where people need cars here, you know. We had got a crib over there by Jeff. You know, you could put your family over here. You know, like you can do things that you never imagined, and you're in that position. But you go from being like the young pup, now you're like we're kind of like the man of the house. You know, and it's to everybody. It ain't just like just your one home. It's like everybody. You got cousins that come out of nowhere. You got people who was like on the fence of being your homeboy and y'all don't really talk, but y'all keep up. Now they all in your circle in your corner. Yeah. Now they, you know, they want to get in with you. You know, they want to go eat with you and do barbecues. But I don't need like barbecues now. I need the barbecues in Juco. I don't need barbecues now. I'm cool now. You know what I'm saying?
I respect you saying that.
Like I need the barbecues then, bro. I don't need them now. And so it was hard to navigate that because I am like emotional. I'm sensitive, but I'm also a people pleaser. I want to see people happy, you know. So when you need it or if you want it, I want to be able to give it to you. And if I got it, you got it. That's my loyalty to you, right? And you feel a sense of obligation that once you get it, you're obligated to not only your family but your city and your community to give it back, despite if they really was there when you was building it or not. You kind of owed that to yourself to give that back, and that's what I felt, and that's true to a certain extent. But I didn't set my boundaries, my healthy boundaries, to where I didn't feel like I was getting taken from too much.
And I think that's the piece. And I think that's the piece that we don't see on the other sides with athletes, because when you see on the TV screen, it says, okay, Jason Tatum, $314 million. That's the only thing people see. They don't see that transition, because a lot of the stuff, and we'll talk about very soon, that you've transferred into is about like talking about the mental health aspect of what men that you've experienced have gone through. And I think it's just important for people to hear that transition, because that's just like quick switch up. Like you were doing where you're at with the JUCOs, where you're at just even getting to the draft. And I think people don't understand and see that light, because they just see, oh, you have this now. Like you made it. And a lot of things that you even said, like you're even still trying to figure that out. Yep. And I don't think they really like truly like understand that. So I guess for you, putting it all together, right? When did you feel like you had like a handle of like, all right, I know who I am, I know what I'm doing, I have my boundaries, like this is what I can and can't do? What was that like for you?
Yeah, once I figured out what I really wanted, you know, once I figured out who I was and what I wanted, it was easy to set the boundaries, you know, because now I know what I do want, what I don't want, you know, who I want to be around, don't want to be around. And so I can protect that space and that energy, right? Like there's things that dangle in front of me that I don't have to take today just because it's in front of me. Yeah. I know I don't want that no more. And so it was a process, again, a lot of trial and error to get to that point. Because again, a lot of mistakes, you know, but a lot of not knowing what I wanted. You know, failed relationships, burning bridges, missed opportunities, you name it, just of not knowing what I wanted. And so if you know what you want, you're subject to take anything that comes your way because it looks appetizing. And so for me, things don't look appetizing no more when my appetite is set on one thing. You can't reel me in with this appetizer when that's not my appetite today. So my appetite looks different, you know. And so when I feed myself now, it's things that I actually want that's nourished to my body and not just fulfilling for the moment to give me that energy spike. you know. And so, so it feels good, man, to like be able to set that, and people that I'm around and who I talk to and communicate with, like those are the ones that I generally want to be around. And so I don't feel like you're taking from me when I leave from that space. I don't feel a sense of like, I don't like that energy. Like I don't want to be. I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm comfortable in that space now because I know what I want. You know, I know what to feed myself with now. And again, it came from not knowing what I wanted. So I'm eating things and taking things, bro, that's making me feel good for the moment. But in the long run, it's really actually hurting me and deteriorating my body. You know, and so I feed myself, man, with good nutrition products now, bro, that is going to last me and sustain me so that my hunger and my appetite, bro, is long lasting and satisfying rather than it's a craving, you know. So, yeah.
No, I appreciate that because, like, in, like, my pipe dream of how things work out because of, you know, people that look like us, we're primarily in, you know, entertainment when it comes to sports. And I think, in my opinion, this is just me. I just think we have to, like, have, like, an independent, like, we really help young men understand, like, this is what your life is going to be like, where I just even heard just how you're talking about how Green Bay operates, where, like, if they just had that one person that wasn't a part of the organization, like, hey, man, we care about you, your money. This is money that's going to change your life, your family's life. This is how you do this from day one. So you don't have to go through any of that.
Yep.
So, nah. But I appreciate. Now I got a couple other things, but mine's more other lifestyle. But I want to shoot at the cost. Do you have any more NFL, CBL stuff that you want to kick to them before? Because mine is going off the beaten path.
Got it. Yeah. My last NFL question is: you talked a little bit about it. You alluded to it. Your ACL injury.
Yep.
What is the comeback from that like, mentally and physically? That whole road to come back from that. Yeah. Kind of, if you don't mind speaking about that.
Nah, that's real. I'm glad you said the mental part first, because the mental part is the recovery. The physical part is the physical part. Like, yeah, you do your rehabs and, you know, wait for the swelling to go down and like that whole process. Like, that's just the physical, but that mental piece of knowing that I'm not who I used to be and I can't no more. Those words, right? Like, we play football. Like, I'm a running back. I'm like, I cut, I jump, all these things. Now I can't. And so I have to sit down. I never got hurt before in my career, my whole life since 7, 8 years old, right? Like a legit injury that sat me down for a whole season until the NFL. So thank God that it was there, because I had the great trainers and I, you know, a little bit more mature. But it was a struggle mentally, just trying to get back to what my 100% was. And I'll never forget that somebody told me, he said, bro, you got to re-identify your 100%. And I thought that meant like with my leg and that I can't make certain moves, bro. He meant mentally. You got to re-identify what your 100% is in your mind. Because if your mind thinks that you can still go, your body's going to follow that and you're prone to injuring yourself again. And so I had to tell myself, so certain habits that I had to cut out. Certain foods that I ate, I had to cut out, right? I couldn't drink as much because my body's healing, right? I couldn't go party as much. I had to get more sleep, right? I had to start stretching more and doing things that other guys didn't have to do, you know, and doing different exercises. I had to work on my hips instead of my biceps and triceps and quads. I had to work on the small muscles, right, to strengthen like my knee. So my mind had to kind of change. I had to re-identify what my 100% is, bro. But it was a struggle. You know, I wasn't the same player when I came back.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't the same player. I didn't have the same movements and all those type of things. And guys, you know, in the league, it's funny because they'll see on the scouting report, Alex Green left ACL in 2011. When 2012, what they gonna do? They going for your left they're going for your left leg. Yeah. They know it's an injury. Yeah. They know that you're gonna baby that. You know what I'm saying? They know that it's something that's on your mind. You know, and so if my job is to tackle you and you gonna pay, you gonna pay me to tackle you. What's the scouting report? Oh, he got a right shoulder. Okay, Ben, I got you, coach. I'm looking at that right shoulder. Got it. And I'm going to hit that right shoulder a little bit harder than I would the left one because I know it's going to bother you. Yeah. I'm trying to get paid by my coach. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard, bro, to navigate and go through that again at 22 years old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was tough, bro. And then you get a season off. Yeah.
Sitting on the sideline.
Bruh. Yeah. You're still getting paid and you're chilling. When they go out of town, bro, you're at the crib. When they go out of town, I might go out of town too. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard to like come to grasp with what being injured really meant in the league. You know, if I can go back and do it, I would have took another year off, or at least 6 months. I came back in like 7 months, and I was in training camp in 7 months because they kept telling me, "Oh, Green is training fast," and all these articles and ESPN ticketers and He's gonna be a breakout back. They didn't draft a guy in the draft. I was the one that was gonna be the man. So I want to play, but it's a business. So yeah, you can play if you want to play, but if you're not performing, you gotta go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But at 22, bro, you don't understand that. You just want to play and get in it right now. You know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was a struggle, bro. But it was one of those things that when I look at today, you know, that going through that process made me slow down a lot of other things in my life that might have gotten injured. I know how to recover it now.
Absolutely.
Yep, no question.
And bro, let me chime in right here. I know you were talking about a lot of idle time that year you were injured. And, just knowing your story as far as like stuff you've been involved with post playing career. You know, I've spoken at different points about points in your life where you've dealt with substance abuse. Was that idle time contributing to that all? Because you know you introduced to like an NFL lifestyle. You're in the midst of a little bit more. Obviously, you got a couple more zeros in your bank account.
Right.
So was that something that picked up in the NFL, or was it prior to?
It was prior to, but it didn't get bad because you're still busy, you're still doing things, and that habit haven't really formed into a lifestyle yet. You know, it can still kind of be broken and take gaps in between, right? But once you got that idle time, because there's something that kind of stops you from being excessive with it. Whether I got to get up in the morning for this job, or I got this meeting or this interview, there's something that happens that makes you kind of force you to slow down in life. Well, when you're already getting paid and you don't have to show up, like there's nobody telling you that like you have to stop, bruh, it's hard to just kind of tell yourself, I don't have to do this. Especially when you're already doing things. I'm still going to get my treatments. I'm still going to get all these things. And so that lifestyle of drinking a lot picked up because, you know, it was like 6, 7 of us who was on injured reserve. But it's like week 6, 7. There's a whole season left. You know, still 10, 15 games left. You know, and so it's like, what do? You know, so we would just drink, play video games, smoke, you know, do whatever, you know, just to feel good for the moment. You know, and that would continue every day because every day we didn't feel good because we was on injured reserve, not playing a game we love. And so us in that little community that we had, bro, we would use this substances just to feel better, and we had time to do it, and we had money to do it. You know, so yeah, so that's when it picked up more and started becoming a problem when you got that time on your hands and you're still getting paid. You know, it's different when you got time and they getting paid. Okay, I know I got to start working because I'm broke. I can't even afford no bottle right now because I'm broke. You know, but when you got it and you can get it, bro, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go do what I want because I can, you know, and I got time to do it. So that's when it got bad, bro. Yeah, that's when it got bad for sure.
And I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And you in Green Bay, so that's
but
So that's just kind of straight for no reason. And that kind of leads me into one of my questions too as well, where when people are in that type of lifestyle and they are, you know, I'll just say they're there. It's sometimes, and I'll just say just from professional experience and just, you know, people I've talked to, it is usually something that triggers for them because so many people tell you like, hey, you should do this. And they're saying this might be better for your life. But I'm just curious for the people who are listening, what was the thing for you where you're like, all right, I need to try sobriety? What is that? What was your why to like, I have to stop this?
Bro, I hit rock bottom. Right? Like life became unmanageable. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's things that happen to us that make us question, why am I doing this? And why should I stop doing this or continue? And I always had my why I should continue because it made me feel better when I was doing it.
Yeah.
My reason of why I should stop is because life just became unmanageable. And when you look up one day and you see like, bro, I done burnt relationships, bridges, opportunities, and I have no hope. That's when it's like, what am I really doing? And I never forget, I was in my car, I was off pal. And I'm people watching, like I like to do, right? And I'm people watching, and I remember thinking to myself, how did I go 3rd round, 96 overall, to the Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Leap, taking handoffs from Aaron Rodgers, scoring touchdowns, right? 100,000, 105,000 people screaming my name, a line outside 2 blocks away to get my autograph for a picture, and I'm in my car wanting to be out of this earth. How did I get to that point? And so I started replaying that in my head, and I started looking at all the things that I was doing, and I'm like, bro, I can't live like this no more. I got to find a way to get help. And so I made a phone call to my program manager. Shout out to Lachey Davis. And she was like, look, we're going to send you to Jacksonville, Florida for 45 days to go get help, you know. And once she finally convinced me to do it, because I was still fighting against the grain, once she finally convinced me to do it, bro, I went in there, and on day 3, I remember crying with my head against the wall in a room with no phone, no TVs, no windows. And I told myself I would never go back to what that was like, to what that feeling of hopelessness was like. I don't care how bad it get. I don't care what the bank account number look like.
Yeah.
I don't care what relationships I can't repair. I don't care what opportunities that I can't get back. I would never go back on a personal level to feeling hopeless no more, where I don't have no fight in me no more. And once I made that decision, bro, life started to get better while I was in treatment, right? Because I had that hope back and that fight back. And I told myself, bro, I'm not going back, and I didn't. And so once I got out, man, that's when I started my nonprofit foundation, Dream and Believe Foundation, dropped a children's book, right? Dream and Believe AJ wants to play football.
Hey.
Got my personal trainer certificate, right?
Hey.
Started motivational speaking and coaching and being that person that I knew I could be because I had that fight and I found that hope back, you know? And so it was hard, bro. But once I got that back after hitting bottom, that's when I seen, bro, I would never go back to this again. I don't care if I don't get drafted again third round, because when I got that hope back, bro, I went first round and number 1 overall. You know what I'm saying? I went number 1 overall, and that's something that can't be taken from me.
And let's just say this. I'm just glad that you're saying it, because in so many different ways, you know, I say that on a day-to-day basis, like hopelessness. And I think it's hard for people to like to quantify when it comes to depression and everything.
Right.
Before we're like, you know, growing up, like, you know, pick yourself up. You got this.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand how heavy that is. And
Yeah.
that's why I kind of wanted to like really walk us down to like, you know, switching the table around. New life different, new responsibilities,
Yep.
stepping into manhood. And I think a lot of people do not understand how difficult that can be. We see the glitz and the glam, but we actually don't see what it takes to actually stand tall.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to that, I'll just say that, you know, the things that, let's just say this, it's just empowering to like really hear that, not letting those things define you anymore, because it's like that monster where you're engulfed by like, I'm not enough. And it's like that, when you refine it again, it's just a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
no,
such a
lovely.
beautiful thing.
It's lovely. Let me put this in perspective for you, right? So you get drafted, you live in your life, right? You go from Green Bay, you go to New York, you know, you go to Canada. I was in LA and Texas, living there for a little bit, in Florida. You go in these places, you're not really at home, right? You're not really back where you from yet. You go back to where you from, and when you step outside to go to a gas station or to a bar or a club, right? You go to an event, you go to eat dinner, people know who you are, and they respect what you do, you know? And so it's, oh, hey, Alice Green, this and this, and I'm proud of you, bro. Well, that's a certain type of pressure that pits on you. And I had that pressure because I wasn't living that way. You feel what I'm saying? I was putting stuff in my body that was destroying me. But I see this dude or this kid or this family who look up to me. And there was a certain stigma that I say thought because it's not true, I thought I had to live up to as an ex-NFL athlete, especially in a small city to where there's not an NFL team here. So we don't see a lot of ex-NFL players. We see NBAs, but we don't know what that looks like in real life. We just sit on the TV, right? So we think, oh, he got to drive this. He got to live here. This is what he should be doing. And when he goes to the club, he got to have all the bottles. He got to be standing on top of the table. When he actually going to dinner, bro, he's shutting it down. That's what the stigma is, right? And so when I'm trying to live up to that and withhold that, bro, that's when that mental health stuff started to come in effect, right? Now it's depression, anxiety, right? That sense of hopelessness. Nobody understand me. I'm alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, who can I talk to for that's gonna understand that? Because nobody else played in the league. So who do I go to? You know, and so having that in the black community in the city, looking at you, where it's like, what are you gonna do next? What you doing now, bro? It put me in a dark depression because who did I go to? I couldn't ask this person for a loan because you was in the league. What you mean you need money? I couldn't ask this person for an opportunity because, well, why you want to go here and do this job when you can do this and this? I wasn't there mentally. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't aligned with myself yet. So I couldn't be in that space. I wasn't there, but I couldn't tell you that I wasn't there. So I wouldn't even ask you for the help and support because I didn't want you to see the real me. Right? Because my whole life when I was playing that game, I had a helmet on. But now that helmet's off, and now you got to see me.
Yeah. And
it's hard when you got to see me, bro, and there's nothing for me to give you to look at. So once I started getting aligned and got that stuff out of me and got the help and support, now I can be here without a helmet on, bro, and you can see me, and I like what you see. I like what I give off, and I can receive your love, and I can give the love. You know, but that perspective of being in the city, bro, and have to obtain or think I have to obtain to these certain means, bro, put me in a deep depression. Today, bro, I don't care like what people think and stuff, because they gonna see me and have a conversation with me. They're gonna be like, dang, bro, that dude made me feel a certain way. I fool with that heavy, you know, and because I got me to give. I don't care what I got on. You know, shake my time. I talk all the time, like, yo, how you looking at us? Look, as long as you comfortable, as long as you feel good, because I wear the clothes. The clothes don't wear me. Whoever I am, I'm bringing that person to your space, and that person gonna have the Benz, the mansion. You know what I'm saying? The $100 million in the pocket. That person got that up here and in here in my heart. Like I'm rich in life. You know, I'm rich in like family. I'm rich in like my integrity. You know, I'm rich in my discipline. Like I'm rich in my pursuit towards success. Like I'm rich in that. Like I'm wealthy in that. I'm rich in my kids. You know, and so what's in me, bro, is so radiant that you gotta see it.
Yes.
So I ain't gotta have no flashy stuff on, bro, because you gonna see me shine anyway.
Yes.
Come on.
Come on. All right, talk to him. Hey, AG, let me ask you this. All right, so I know right now you're talking about kind of re-identifying who you are, and then people re-identify with how they receive you in terms of like, your post-playing careers. Now, earlier in the interview, you spoke about, you know, you're not really doing school. So I just have to ask, what inspired you to become an author?
So great question.
Yeah.
So I grew up dyslexic. I didn't know that until I got to Hawaii. I remember very vividly that I went with my mom alone, like in elementary school, to this big tall building to go do a reading test. And I was wondering why there was no other kids in there. But once I got done with that test, the next day at school, they started putting me in different classes during reading sessions. Still at the time, I didn't know like why. You know, I knew I had lower level, but it was like, okay, whatever. Well, that carried me all the way throughout high school, junior college, et cetera, et cetera. But when I got to the University of Hawaii, one of my counselors, I was doing some work with her, and she was like, I think you might have this, like, you might be dyslexic. And I was like, I don't know. So I ended up doing a test, and sure enough, I got diagnosed with dyslexia. And then that's when life started to change on that end. And I started getting different handouts and things like that, and started getting different books and audiobooks and X, Y, and Z, and started to have more success in school. But that's what inspired me to be an author, because I grew up dyslexic, and I want to show them what having something on you, what it looks like to still fight despite your circumstances, because your circumstance is not your conclusion. Just because I'm dyslexic don't mean you can't write a book. So I want to inspire other kids who might have learning disability or any disability or even thing that's holding them back, mental, physical, whatever it is, you still can do despite circumstances and adversities.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's what gave me that motivation to write it.
That's fire.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
And then I follow you on IG. Obviously, you know, we talk whenever we see each other.
For sure.
But you know, from outside looking in, it always seems like you somewhere talking. You know, I can't pinpoint where in the country, but you somewhere. Yeah. So like, what does your day to day look like in terms of like doing motivational speaking? And then follow up question to that. In terms of your nonprofit, what is your long-term goals as far as like where you want to take it?
I like it. So, day to day is just like, you know, I could be sitting here, what's today, Wednesday? I might get a phone call tonight and say, hey, can you be in Texas on Friday for this event to come speak at? And we'll go over details of flight, hotel, whatnot, right? They might call me and say, hey, can you be in DC in August? Right, so it's just the entrepreneurship and just taking on bookings, right? But every day, you know, and my family will tell you, like, I'm speaking. I'm working my craft. Without even realizing, I'm just really just being me, right? But I'm working my craft and just talking too, you know? So day to day, man, it's like, you know, it's trying to find that next one. And I'm more like impact over income based. So when I go into a space, I'm always like, who can I impact today? That's what kind of get my anxiety of being in space to public speak away. Like, how are you speaking for all these people? Well, when I go into it thinking like, it's not about me, but who can I impact and inspire? Now the pressure's off. You get nervous when you think about like, oh, if I mess up, what if I stutter, what if I this and this and forget? Well, you're like in the flesh. I'm trying to be in the spirit. So when I'm in the spirit, and like, who can I impact? But now I'm winning. It's not even about me. So I go into it trying to like impact somebody. Then that God will bless me with the income and all that stuff, right? So my day to day is just finding that next one, being in that process, right? The next game, I call them game days. Being in the next game, but if I have a game, right, I'm just practicing, working my craft, right? I'm the A-Rod that's trying to watch film, walking to the dining hall, right? I'm trying to get better and better and better and be the best I can be. And that leads me into the foundation. Like, I want to grow that to where I impact millions. You know, where I inspire children around the world, you know, where I give youth resources and opportunities that they might not have or be aware that they have. You know, if somebody out in the streets and they thugging heavy, they only think that thugging it is the way to make money to take care of my moms. Well, what if you do this trade? What if you get your GED and do this trade? Then you can make $20 an hour at 18 years old. By the time you're 22, 23, you're making $45 an hour, but you can take care of you and your moms with no overhead. You know what I'm saying? And so showing them a different way, right, and kind of bridging that gap between what real looks like. You know, because we grew up with real looks like is having a bunch of women, you know, the chains around my neck, you know, a bunch of cars. That's what money looked like and real looked like to our community and our people, at least for us growing up in that era. Right, so now with the entrepreneurship world, with the young boys, it still kind of looks superficial. So I want to show them what real look like and what actually hard work looks like and being in the process look like and actually doing something that you love. I got guys all the time who do music or art or they speak, whatever, and it's like, bruh, like you didn't take this booking because it was for free. They didn't want to pay you, but you said you love to do this, and you want to get paid to do it, bro. Like I used to go fly places off my own dime to go speak for an hour and a half for free. Why? Because I love to do it and I want to impact somebody in that space that's have a need. Right? Like if I got the means to go buy this flight and go get in that space, come on, I'm going. Right? Now we got kids and bills, we gotta get paid, right? We gotta work. But like that would come, you know, and so now I haven't paid for a flight in like a year and a half. You know? And so I'm trying to get it to where I can start bringing the babies with me and like do a vacation, you know, a bag-cation, you know, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they got to be exposed to it, right? You got to be exposed to it and like how it's a new life. And it's not just going to go speak, but it's going to go impact, you know, because that's what fills my cup too. So, but with the foundation, bro, I want to be able to impact millions, bro, and really spread the awareness of dyslexia, right? Overcoming adversity, bridging the gap, providing resources, and being that person of hope. You know, and really having that big dream and that vision, but then putting that belief behind it with somebody like me who went through it that can provide the resources.
That's fire. That's fire. You know,
no question.
I pray that, you know, well, I'm praying on it, but I know you're going to achieve all that.
Yeah, so, for sure. I believe it. I'm manifesting it, man. Exactly. I'm manifesting it.
Yeah. Y'all got any more questions before me and him play a game real quick?
I got a couple more.
Okay, go ahead.
It seems like, Costa, you have?
I got one more, but you go first. And
oh, yeah, mine kind of overlaps. So I heard impact and just pure inspiration. Well, like one of the things is we've had like Tyler Monk on the podcast.
Yeah, that's my good guy.
Yeah,
that's my good guy. You know, Tyler went to Benson too. Yeah, that's my good guy.
He's been on the show a few times.
Yeah,
and
that's what's up.
What do you call it? One of my pipe dreams has always been having like Portland motivational speakers like have a summit. Like I love ET and I love the framework that he does. And I was like, we have enough talent here to do that here.
I was just talking about that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because later in the future, I think I'm gonna dabble in it just very minorly. But anytime we have any motivational speaker on here, I'll always ask, what do you want for someone who comes to see you leave with? You talked about impact, being impacted. And I'm just curious. You already had one, so what are the other two things from someone who sits down to listen to you? What do you want them to leave with?
Good question. I want them to leave with a different perspective. You know, a different approach to life. Yeah. You know, a different way to deal with adversities, right? A different way to respond. You know, let's say responsibility is your ability to respond, right? Life is going to happen to you no matter what. Life is life, right? But how do you respond to it?
Please.
Right?
Please,
like take the emotion out, right? I use an analogy all the time. Like if I drop my phone and my emotion me would be like, oh man, my phone broke. I can't get into my IG. I forgot my Facebook password. I'm supposed to email this dude back to get this book in, man. My girl gonna think I'm out here tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a lot going on, right? It's my emotions, right? But the solution base is just like, oh, my phone broke. Let me go to T-Mobile real quick and get my phone fixed. It's going to take me about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm back in the game just like that.
Boom.
You know, and so just having a different perspective on how to adapt, right, and midstream adjust, right? And a lot of things I learned from football. And so I got 5 points that I make. First one is alignment, right? Being aligned. You got to be aligned in life.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you got to be aligned, right? If I'm playing football and the play is called trips right, Z left, 28 toss, well, I got to be 8 yards deep in the backfield. I can't be 9, I can't be 7, right? Because the play won't work. A-Rod won't give me the ball. My assignment, what's your assignment, right? So on trips right, Z left, 28 toss, my assignment is taking 3 steps to the right and catching the pitch from A-Rod and reading my block inside to out, Well, my assignment in life is to impact millions, right? I know my assignment. I know what I wake up, what I want to do, and that can teeter-totter and have an umbrella where other things fall under that, right? But my main goal, my main assignment is to impact. So if I go to Safeway, if I go to a school, if I go to a church, if I go to my mom's living room, my assignment is the impact, right? And so then your technique, right? So on my trips right, Z left, 28 toss, when I'm 8 yards deep in the backfield, and I got my 3 steps to the right, read my blocks inside out. My technique is, right, ball in the right hand on the outside, because if it's inside, I'm prone to having a fumble. Ball on the outside, I'm reading my blocks inside out, and I'm making 3 cuts. I'm making 1 cut to the outside, I'm making 1 cut straight to the middle, I'm taking it all the way backside for a big run, right, based on what I read on my assignment. Right, but there's a technique to how I do it. There's a technique to what we do in life. There's a technique to how I meet you when I come in this building, in this space, when I greet y'all before the podcast even come on. It's a technique to how I eat with my family. It's a technique to how I talk to my kids when they had a bad day. It's a technique to how I'm taking care of myself and I'm protecting my space when I go in certain places. Right, everything that we do is a technique to it, right? Because we know in sports and football, basketball, whatever it is, a bad technique might cost you a penalty. Now you got to go backwards 5-10 yards. So technique to everything that we do, and then you got your execution. So after I got my trips right, Z left. What is it? Yeah, see, 28 tall.
28
in the backfield.
I know, 8 yards back.
There we go.
Right, got my 28 toss. Right now, I'm just after I got my technique, my alignment assignment, all these things. Now I'm just being an athlete and running my play and using my God-given natural born ability. Right, to make people miss, whether it's jumping, running you over, making you miss by cutting left, right, whatever I did growing up in Deacon, whatever I do, my God-given ability, I'm just running my play. So when I go about life, I'm using my gift and my talent to navigate through life, right? Like if I'm charismatic, I'm using my charisma when I go in spaces. If I have a great smile, I'm gonna smile at you. If I know that I like people and I'm based on relationships and I value relationships, I'm gonna have a great conversation with you, right? I'm just using my God-given ability to run my play. In life, right? And then the last one is you finish. You got your alignment, where you're supposed to be, your assignment, what are you supposed to do, your technique, how do you do it, you execute, and then you just finish it off, right? So as a running back, they always say you fall forward, because when you fall forward, you gain about 2 or 3 yards. And we know in football and in life, bro, football and winning is a game of inches, right? So that 1 inch of falling forward might cost me a win or a lose. So if I fall, we all fall down in life. When I fall, I want to fall forward, though. And what does that mean, Alex? What that means is fall doing something that's in your purpose. I don't want to fall being somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fall. I'm going to fall and fail doing something that I know I'm supposed to be doing, and it just didn't work, but I'm still in that space where it didn't work. I don't have to change locations and all these things for it to work. No, I'm going to fall in that space, and I'm going to learn in that space how to navigate in that space, but I'm still in that space.
That's tough.
So there you go. So yeah.
That's
what
tough.
I want people to leave with when they come here and
That's
talk.
tough.
Yep.
All right. I have mine. Will segue into yours, but Cost, take it away.
Yeah, my final question is, so I feel it seems like you mostly talk at schools and the younger generation, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it to get through to the younger generation these days?
So to answer your question, it's tough because they have different experiences than we do. You know what I'm saying? They grew up on the phone and social media, right? And so the engagement is different because they don't know how to engage. They use their emotions with emojis. You feel what I'm saying? They don't know how to express their feelings and talk, right? And so it's hard to get them to like connect with you where you can actually help and support. Like I'm not here to hurt you, you know, so I'm here to help you. And there's people sometimes when they come in with the attitudes and they mad and it's like, hold on, let me step right there, bro. You're not like tough, you're not hard, you're just hurt, right? Something's bothering you, and so I want to like break that barrier down and get to that. Once you do, then it's easy. So to answer your question, it's not hard to get with them until you break down that barrier. They have the barriers up, you know, and it's not their fault. They just learn how to live life from a screen.
Absolutely.
So they don't know how to tap into their emotions, and so what we see is just superficial. We just see a screen in real life, you know. And so, but once that gets like taken out, and you can see them, brother, they're so dope and talented and creative and know so much more than we do. You know what I'm saying? But like once you get past that barrier of like, I'm not here to hurt you, I'm here to help you, bro. Then you see like, okay, it's actually easy to engage with them. And I've got some relationships that I still talk to these kids today as like they call me Uncle AG. You know, and so I love like the work. You know, I love the work of being that person where they can come to. That's a safe space where they can be vulnerable, open, transparent, and really like find a not only a friend but like a uncle / brother, a companion, a mentor in me, where they can actually receive the support and like actually open up where they can thrive in life.
Got it.
You know, but there is some times when I go to places.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. I went to this. It was like one of my first big speaking engagements at a gym assembly, and it was 3 of us there. I didn't know the other 2 guys, but one guy went up a little more monotone, a little more teacher-ish. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they booed him just straight up, like loud, like she straight up booed him off the mic.
That's crazy.
And I was the next one up. You know, and I was like, oh nah, y'all ain't finna boo me off this mic. You got me twisted. So I went up there and started like cracking jokes first, you know, to kind of like
get the room back.
You know, and I had to meet them where they was at. They didn't want to be there, you know. It was corny to them. Who these dudes talking? So I had to kind of like go where y'all at. Once I'm here, okay, now we going this way. Now we going up. You know what I'm saying? But I had to meet them where they was at first. But yeah, there's some tough crowds, bro.
I believe
there's some tough crowds. Them kids is mean.
Oh yeah,
these kids be mean, bro. Yeah, they be mean. Yeah, they'll say things to you that will hurt your feelings. You know, but again, they just have that different experience than we did. You know, yeah.
I'm not gonna say her name, but shout out to my eldest niece. She goes to Roosevelt.
Okay.
And
shout out to the niece.
Literally. Cause it's so interesting. So we're at like our family barbecue, and she's like, "These kids," because she acts a little older, and she's like, "They're like in the morning, her first period, they're like dancing on the tables and doing all these things." Man. And I was like, "Man, it's like it's 8 a.m.
That's a little extreme. 8 a.m. dancing on the table."
She's like,
"They don't care no more, bro."
And it was just, I was like, so when you were talking about that was like going through my mind. I was like, things that really haven't changed that much.
Well. I agree. It has, but it hasn't.
True.
I agree. There's still, you know what it is? It's the culture.
Okay.
Right?
I'm right.
Like,
right
it's
there.
the culture, I think, that hasn't changed much. Like, it changed within the realm of the culture, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I will just say this. Jefferson High School, I love you. I really do. But when I say there is this teacher, Mr. Osei, and I really think our class gave him an ulcer, aneurysm, dementia, because literally every day.
I believe it.
I'm not even gonna say her name. She'd be like, "Go to the dean," like every day, because he was an African dude, and like it was like I remember one time he was fed up. Like I think he threw out all our papers. Like he graded all the papers. He's like, I can't do this anymore. So like
y'all mean, bro.
There's other stuff I am not saying for the sanctity of the show, but that's why I'm like, I get it, but also at the same time, I feel like kids these days have more ammo.
Yeah. No question. They got ammo, bro.
So
yeah, for sure.
But I'm curious because with Play No Games, we have things we play no games about, and you know, I don't have birdies, but I have research.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'm curious. You were on.
I'm a little nervous.
You were on a podcast called The Roses.
Oh. Okay. Let's talk about it. I'm here.
And I'm just curious.
Okay. Talk to me.
Now, I don't say this on this show often, but I really appreciate you with your transparency. But when I'm not podcasting, you know, I specialize with couples and marriages. So
okay,
I'm one of those guys.
Okay.
So I'll let people put it together as they put it together.
For sure.
And one of the things you said on there, because when I was doing my research, I was like, that was mad interesting. So when it comes to titles, in relationships, do you still believe titles matter or don't matter? I'm just curious.
Shout out to Rose's podcast. Titles, no, it don't matter. It don't matter to me. No, titles still don't matter to me, and I stand on that until the day I'm down. No, it don't matter.
No,
titles don't.
I respect it. I respect it.
It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me because what we build and create, right? Whatever we build in here, you can call it what you want.
1,000.
But I feel a certain way about it. I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
You want to call it a relationship? Cool. Call it a friendship? Cool. Call it a brotherhood? Cool. Call it what you want. Call it a podcast? Call it what you want. But I feel good in here. So that's what I base it off of. How does it make me feel? People randomly or rarely, remember what you say, but they always remember how you made them feel.
I'm gonna have to write that down. That was a bar.
Yeah, they always do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So in relationships, because I want to be specific what you're talking about. I don't want to dance. You know,
You swindle.
but I'm media trained.
Wait a second. No, you cool.
But when it comes to relationships, and I know like the whole boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, what's the word? Monogamous.
Yeah.
Right? All that stuff. Like, yeah, it has some validity and it gives you a sense of this like confirmation on what we are moving forward. So if you cross that, then that's where disloyalty and you lie, all these things come into play. That doesn't really hold any validity to me. You feel what I'm saying? Because if I rock with you and you rock with me, then like we're rocking. Call it what you want, but we're rocking. And I'm going to have my teeter-totters and my trial and errors the same way you will within that. So whatever you want to call it, cool, but I don't believe in like that title thing. No, just being real. I don't believe in that.
No.
Yeah, like...
I respect it. I respect it because I was watching. I watched a bit. I watched quite a
Bro,
bit.
you should bring him back for RD.
Oh,
what's RD?
so when we're not doing the podcast, I do relationship dynamics.
Oh, okay.
Because I really want people to like stop pitting men and women against each other and really define and have loving relationships,
Yes.
whether it works or not, because
There's no
everything is so
competition.
polarizing.
Yes.
And slowly trying to revamp that back because you know I think it's important because we have too many things that are taking our attention from what's truly important, that is loving on each other. Right. So like when you're talking about titles, so I'm a big person where people come to me talking about titles, and I'm just kind of like, in so many ways I kind of like say something like that, but also for me, when I like going through your Instagram, going through like what you represent, I think it's so beautiful for people to see like, this is a successful man and this is what this is. Now, obviously, and this is the part where I think people like struggle with. We're like, when you have your foundation of your relationship, what's ours is ours. That's it. And I think when that gets in that, people play that telephone game like, oh, I want what you have. They forget the essence of like, we have a mutual agreement of what this is. Come on. And, not to say that I'm, calling out other people, but it's kind of like, it's important for you to have that solid rock of communication for any of that to work. And I think people jump to that. So I appreciate you for expanding upon that, because I was writing stuff down. I had a couple other things. But I'm going to say that for another day.
You can ask him. We can hop on what's it called, R&D?
Yeah,
hop on R&D.
Hey, well, bro, I know we took up a lot of your time today.
No, you good.
But just close out here. I like to play this game. I actually came up with the name for it finally. Call it Shot Clock,
Okay.
All right, so it's gonna be some rapid fire.
Hopefully, I should be clapping at the end of the game.
Yeah, so it's gonna be some rapid fire questions, kind of just like this or that. So don't think too hard of it. Just first instinct, whatever comes first to you. All right.
So I'm saying, okay.
I'm gonna throw out two options.
Okay.
Each question. So
gotcha. I'm saying this or that.
It might be, I'm not gonna do it for real, but Aaron, PJ,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the actual name or whatever it is that you're
asking. Whatever the answer.
Okay, gotcha.
Whatever the answer is.
Okay,
all right,
fair.
All right. So let me know when you're ready. All right. And now keep in mind, I asked some people in your life a little bit of questions to like frame this stuff. So, all right, so we can start here. Skittles or Reese's?
Reese's.
All right. Walter Payton or Deion Sanders?
Deion.
All right. Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
A-Rod for sure.
Who's the better athletes, NFL players or NBA players?
Come on, man. NFL players for sure. NFL. Can I
You
talk about that?
You spend on that.
All right,
I know it's a trending topic, so that's why I asked you.
NFL players can play basketball. I know what's been. NBA players cannot go play football. They can't. It's a different beast. Can they play football? Yes, but not NFL football. I think there's some NFL players that can hoop and play in the league.
There's like 5 people in the NBA that could. I say maybe practice squad.
Playing in the NFL?
Yeah, practice squad.
You got a name for me?
Lou Dort. 6'5", 245.
Who, LeBron?
No,
No,
Lou
Lou
Dort.
Dort. He played on the
Oh,
Thunder.
oh.
Stocky shooting guard.
On Thunder.
He could be like a strong safety.
I'm not even saying.
We gotta take into account. So see, I think people get it twisted with the size.
Okay.
Because you're a certain size, it's a mentality.
It is a mentality.
like-
They're
you
not
know
used
what
to
I'm
getting.
saying?
Also,
They're not.
when you've been playing contact football your entire life, it like you said, it's one thing to be out here just running in shorts, but the calories
Right.
your body builds up to absorb another man's full weight.
100%.
It's
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
ball game. Now,
Wow, that was.
now at the
Hold on, pause. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, big
yeah.
pause,
That was
big
crazy.
pause.
I was about to say.
We're gonna edit
I
that
was
one out.
about to say. After all this bullshit before the podcast, we gonna let that one slide?
I didn't
Okay.
even catch it.
Okay.
But
Bro.
now, if you take into account or have a conversation about if they train,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
but we talking about just throwing them right in. No, they can't do it.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, bro, no.
Okay. All right, last.
But yeah,
Last one for you. All right. And of course, you can't rewind time, but if you had it your way, how your life plays out, would you rather win a Super Bowl or have your book go #1 and be turned into a movie?
ooh, that's a good question because Super Bowl is like, bro, that's lifetime, like a ring, and that's big time. But to trump that, yeah, bro, have my book go #1. You know what I'm saying, and turn a movie out of it. But that's like legacy stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's something that can't be. Like I can't sell that, at an auction. You feel what I'm saying? That's with me forever and my family forever. So definitely, yeah, the leaving that legacy trumps all that. 100%. Yeah.
Bro, that's all I had.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. All right. That wasn't too tough.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
Oh, shot clock. Interesting. I got some
Shot clock.
design things to do with that. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little,
You're look here. We got company. You're definitely on one. Anywho, I know these guys will say it, but I just want to say, man, I'm not gonna lie. This actually has been my favorite interview that we've done.
Man, you
this
say
year.
that on everybody.
No,
Come
I
man.
didn't.
This is my
No,
favorite
no,
one.
no.
This is
No,
my
no.
favorite. You see, you
No,
do
no,
it.
no.
This is
He
my
does.
favorite one.
I can tell because of how much he's been talking in between the lead up before question.
Yeah. I appreciate
You sound like you hate on it. Let me
His
hate-
face.
No.
She's sitting over here like, man, I'm ready to go.
I'll just say this. They'll say it, but thank you so much for taking time out of your day just
For
to
sure.
just show people another side of you, because you're more than just football. You're more than just
No question.
You're like your mama
Yeah.
gave you your name, and like
Yeah.
you're literally like you are worthy no matter what you do from here on out. And I appreciate you putting our book in our bookcase for the Play No Games
Let's
podcast, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I am juiced up just from this interview.
Let's go.
This is legit.
Yeah,
Legit.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the questions, the transparency, bro, and the energy.
Yeah.
And y'all got something going here, man. Like it's dope, and there's not a
Appreciate
lot
it.
of places,
Appreciate it.
and they'll tell you where I'm comfortable in spaces, and I just won't go. But I did my homework too. I did my homework. I did my homework. And I like what y'all do, what y'all stand on, and it's authentic.
Yeah,
And
appreciate
then
it.
I think
Appreciate
you
it,
got to
man.
get behind it. So yeah, it's all love.
Thank you.
Have me back
Thank
next time, man. I got some more juice for y'all too.
All right, say less.
Go.
Say less.
Yeah, I got some
Say
more
less.
juice.
You want to close this out, Rob?
You know what? This was your lead. I can.
All right, sounds good. I got it. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still here watching, appreciate you. If not, do it next time. But
Let's go.
That's
don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, you can donate at.
$ Hero Bob. Help me pay my friends.
go.
Until next time, we out.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.